Hello everybody and welcome back to Tip Top Travel. Today you join me in a rather one-off video. This is a video showcasing a recent visit I did to Colditz Castle in Germany. Now the reason why it's a one-off video is because I didn't spend the rest of my time on this trip in Germany. We were actually in Prague but had gone over to Colditz for the day. Now this video we go through Colditz Castle, access all areas in a tour which costs approximately €23 a person. So this video is one for the history buffs, everyone that knows about the very nature of Colditz and its use as a camp during World War II and how its high profile prisoners were able to escape. This video is very much for you and I really hope you enjoy it. So, located about 45 minutes from the East German city of Dresden, Colditz is a castle which has history dating back hundreds of years, but as mentioned in the introduction, the very reason why it is famous is because of its use during World War II as a prisoner of war camp. Now, the reason why this prisoner of war camp was so particularly famous was because of the high profile individuals that it held there from the Allied side. So it was controlled by the German army, the Wehrmacht, and the prisoners that were sent to Colditz were high profile officers from the Allied side who had attempted escapes from previous camps. So all of the inmates there had record of escaping. For British soldiers, I know British officers, it was a duty to try and escape. So there are lots of different and inventive ways the prisoners used to escape. And now this tour that we're on at the moment goes over some of the escape attempts, both successful and unsuccessful. The one in which you'll be seeing in this video is the famous one for which British Lieutenant Airey Neve and Dutch Lieutenant Anthony Lutoin escaped from a hole in the camp theatre. Now this is a really interesting part of the tour because you can still see the hole in which both of the men climbed through. They of course climbed through the hole dressed as German officers, then simply walked out the gate. It was a really fascinating escape and a really interesting insight to see the ingenuity of the escapes that these officers would make. As well as exploring the rest of the roof area, some of the guard areas and solitary confinement which some of the prisoners were sent to when they were captured from their escape. The tour takes us through the courtyard of Colditz as well as going down into the area in which the soldiers and prisoners would exercise. Now, this is a really fascinating area because, again, like the areas of the attic and the theatre, this isn't open to the general public and is only available to those who book on the tour. So this is really fascinating to see. As well as that, the tour also goes over the other escape attempts which of course occurred, including the failed French tunnel, which took up to 8 months to build and was really ingenious the way it was designed, but was unfortunately uncovered a few meters from when they were about to come out to open air, as well as going over the fabled Colditz glider, which never saw flight due to the fact that the war had ended. But it all goes into the history of each of the different escape attempts and goes into how many people from the different nations were successful. I would honestly really recommend this tour to anyone visiting the castle, because it's definitely worth doing. €23 not only gets you all of this access, but also gives you access to the museum and the new histopad tour which they've got, which sends you right back in time to what it was like back in those times as well. So this isn't an ad for the museum or this tour, it's just simply passing on some really good experience. So after the tour, we went into the town centre for a little bit. This was quite cool. I'd recommend going down there as well, just to see what the town was like. It was an interesting place, quite small. Obviously, it's quite rural Germany, so other than the castle in the town, there wasn't really much more else to see. So we were there approximately for about 4 or 5 hours in the end before heading back to Prague. And as I say, I hope this video provided a good insight into what you experience on the tour and gives you maybe a good idea of something to book if you're in the area around Colditz. For example, if you're in Dresden or if you're in Prague, it took us about 3 hours to drive from Prague. So would highly recommend this tour. I'll put a link to their website in the description of this video, and I hope to see you again in another one very soon. Thank you very much for watching.